Boys and girls watching, today we are going to go back to Africa. Where are we going? Africa. Specifically, we're going to go back to some places in Africa. One of the places is right here. Do you see this little girl? This little girl lives in a place called Kenya. Say that with me. Kenya. She lives in the country of Kenya, which is in Africa. So that's one place we could go visit, is in Kenya. And she is a little girl there, and look what she's doing. She's carrying her vegetables on her head. She probably just went to the market, or maybe she is going to the market to sell some vegetables. But I want to mainly talk to you today about some animals, some of our favorite animals. We've talked about those even sometimes when I have you come and pray, and I say, tell me something that God created that is your favorite that you want to pray for. I know many of you mention some of these animals, and you could find these animals in Africa. So let's talk about them today. In Africa, we would see this animal right here. What kind of animal is that, Johanna?
A camel.
A camel. Now, in the desert of Africa, they have camels, and the camels are very good animals that help to carry things across the desert. But you know what the desert doesn't have? A lot of water. So God made camels to not have to have a lot of water. They can get a whole bunch of water at one time and drink it and then store it in their bodies. Do you see how they have those big humps? Well, they store the water in their body so that they can go across the desert of Africa and not get thirsty because they've already had a lot to drink. Now, if you sat there and tried to drink, you would get too full and you couldn't do it. It probably would make you sick. But not the camels. They drink and drink, and then they could go for a really long time. God also gave the camels these big eyes with big eyelashes. Oh, they have beautiful eyelashes. And God did that because in the desert, sometimes it gets really windy, and they have things called sandstorms. And when the sand blows, it could get in their eyes, but they have those big eyelashes, and that will protect them from getting in the sand in their eyes. Now, let's talk about this animal right here. What is that? A gorilla. A gorilla. There's all kinds of monkeys and gorillas and things like that you might find in Africa, all different kinds of monkeys. And so this gorilla, God gave him really long arms so that he can swing through the jungles of Africa, and they will even make some homes in the trees in Africa with the plants and the leaves that they pull off of the trees, and they will make almost like little tree houses up in the trees for them to live in up there. But God gave them those really long arms so they didn't have to really, if they don't want to, they don't have to walk on the ground to go from tree to tree. They can swing from tree to tree, just like if they're in a swing, but they're jumping from tree to tree by using their arms, and they're really strong, and they can swing from tree to tree that way. And the gorillas, they love to eat what? Bananas, but they also like to eat other fruits too, and they will eat all kinds of fruits and vegetables that they find in the jungle. Now, oh, look. There's Ellie Elephant, and she is so cute. But God gave the elephant something really big on his face. Yes, his trunk. But when we think of a trunk is usually where on your car? It's usually in the what? Back. In the back, but not on the elephant. God gave the elephant his trunk in the front because his trunk helps him. It's like having another arm. It helps him because he can use that trunk to pick up food and eat it. He can use that arm or that trunk to drink water and put things in his mouth, because that's what he does. He uses it like a little hand, and he picks up things and then he sticks it in his mouth. I've watched him do it. They go like this, and then it just curls right under, and then they eat like that. And they'll munch on hay and vegetables and things like that they like to eat. But sometimes they'll even give themselves a bath, almost like a shower. Have you ever do you take a shower or do you take a bath, Lucia? Do you sit in the tub or do you stand up and it goes on top of you?
I usually go in a shower and a bath.
So you can do both. You've done both. Well, maybe if you've taken a shower, you know what I'm talking about, how it comes up from the top and it sprinkles down like this, like a big hose, and it sprinkles down. Well, that's what they will use their trunk for. They will lots of water up, and then they will take their trunk and go like this, and then it'll all come down like a shower head, just like that. Isn't that neat? They have their own built-in shower with them. God gave them that big old trunk for that reason. So that's fun. Well, there's some more animals on here. Ooh, who's that? The lion, and he is the what? The king of the... Well, this one is. He's the daddy. How do I know that he is the daddy? Do you remember, Johanna?
Because he has a lot of fur around his face.
Yes, he has that fur. And do you know what that fur is called? It's called
mane.
Yes, it's called the mane. What's it called?
Mane.
The mane. He has all that fur around his face, and it's called the mane. And every other animal and every other tiger will know he is the daddy, and he's the boss, and he's in charge, and he's going to protect his family. And so that's called a pride. What's it called? Pride. A pride. So when you have a whole bunch of mommy lions and baby little lions, and they're all together, it's called a pride. And he's going to protect his pride. And so you know how out in Africa, in the jungles of Africa, they have the plains also. And then sometimes there's those big long tree or grass that grows. Do you remember what that's called? The grasslands. Say that. Grasslands. You know how he'll just sit in those grasslands and he's watching. And sometimes you'll see his little tail, and just his tail will be going like this. And that's all you'll see. And then if there's something yummy out there that he wants to eat, he will run really fast, and all of a sudden you'll see the grass just moving, but you'll still see that tail, and then he'll pounce on it. And he'll be there ready and waiting to get his food. But he likes to hide in those grasslands and protect his pride like that. And then one more animal I want to talk to you about is this one right here. What's that? Yes, that's my favorite. I love the giraffe. The giraffe has that really long neck, doesn't he? Really long neck. And that way he can use his neck to get way up in the trees and to eat those trees, those yummy leaves that are way up high. So that I don't even know if the gorilla can even get that high. He might be able to climb all the way up, but I don't know. But I would think I would be scared, but not the giraffe. He's so got that long neck that he can get up really high, and he can start eating all of those yummy leaves that no other animal probably can touch, except for a bird, because a bird can fly probably higher than that. But I don't know, gorillas are pretty strong, and they can probably climb pretty high. I don't know. But God made them have that long neck so that they don't have to. They're another animal that doesn't put their head down to eat their food. They go up and they eat their food. Remember that other animal we talked about that doesn't put their face down? They eat their food like this. Who is it? The panda. And he likes to eat leaves too, doesn't he? And so does the giraffe. So these are all fun animals that you will see in Africa. Where did we go again today? Africa. It's so fun to learn all about all these animals, and it's fun visiting places that we've gone before. It would really be neat if we could go there for real. If you're watching from Africa today, how exciting. Maybe one day we could come and visit you.